Today on Talking Solutions, we're going to discuss the Badass Dash coming up at Sam Boyd Stadium on Saturday, May 28th. That would be Memorial Day weekend. We've got race director Brian Sharenow in studio with us. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, thank you.
Can you tell me what the Badass Dash is all about?
It's an obstacle challenge, also an adventure race. It could be either or depending on who's competing. But it's basically designed to have people come out and have a good time. Much different than many of the other races that come into town. One, because actually there's a lot of races that say that they're in Las Vegas, but they're not actually in Las Vegas. They'll be in Henderson, or they'll be on the outskirts. We're actually in Las Vegas. We just finished 3 years in a row at the South Point Casino, and we somewhat outgrew it. So we're now moving to a larger venue. We're going to Sam Boyd Stadium this year. An event that's designed for the whole family to come down. We have competitions for an elite racer. We have competitions for the recreational runner. We have competitions for children from 6 years old all the way up to 13. And you could even compete with your dog. Literally, everybody in the household can come down, compete in a different competition, all part of one action-packed day. And you essentially conquer obstacles, get over some of your wildest fears while running in between them and having a great time.
I've seen some of the videos on the training for the Badass Dash because Aimee Montgomery, who we absolutely love, she works with us with Beasley Media. She's our newest on-air member. Amy's on the morning show on Star 107.9. She has gotten out there. She's posting videos all the time to the Facebook page and to their social media sites because she's training. I've seen her trying to conquer the rings, and I've seen her trying to climb an 8-foot wall and a 6-foot wall and going up and doing all of these different, lift a big, huge tire. She's getting set to do this, and I know she's excited about it. Aimee Montgomery is with us, our newest air personality with our Beasley Media Group. I'm so glad you're here with us on Talking Solutions.
Thank you for having me on. I'm so excited.
You're a star with Star 107.9. Aimee is participating in the Badass Dash. Brian, we're telling you about some of these videos. You have got to see them. They're so good.
I'm for sure going to check them out.
They're so cute. There are links on the Talking Solutions Facebook page. Aimee is shown training because some people do. Have you done anything like this before?
I've never, ever. So this is my first time, and that's why I was so nervous. But everybody at Badass Dash and Camp Rhino is pointing me in the right direction so I can finish this race and do every obstacle. So we'll see. Yeah, I have faith in myself.
I believe in you. Watching you ramp up, literally, to be able to do this. Your commitment. What made you decide that this is something that you could do?
A lot of my friends have done the Badass Dash actually last year, and I missed out on it, whether it was scheduling or whatever. And so this year, when I heard that we were going to be doing it, I had to be on board to be there and do this and finish it and show everybody that I can do it too. I'm excited.
We're excited because as we partnered with all the different stations in your cluster last year, we asked who's the rep from your station that's going to be the face to show, and they're like, well, we're not sure. So we were excited that we're actually getting somebody to, I guess you'd call it the first guinea pig.
Yes, and I'm fine doing that. And like Terry was talking about the videos, you can see I'm going every Saturday I can to Camp Rhino before the Badass Dash, and every Saturday I do get better. I really, truly do. Believe it or not, after watching the videos.
You notice it, though, as the videos go on. You actually accomplished some of these, and I'm like, yeah.
Right.
Aimee, people who are listening today on Talking Solutions, they don't know you yet. Our newest air personality with Beasley Media Group. And this, I think the reason why you were so gung-ho on it, this is your first radio job, so you haven't been through this pony show before.
Right. Use her. She doesn't know yet.
Right.
Your spirit and just your willingness to participate. It's refreshing to everybody else in this building.
Thank you.
So I'm really happy to be able to introduce you to all of our other radio stations with Beasley Media Group.
I love it. Thank you so much.
She touched on the point that we were speaking about earlier with regard to a lot of times that all it is, it's one or two people that have an inner drive to do this type of race, and then they grab a couple of their friends who are like, you have to do this. And then next thing you know, it's 5 or 6 people that have a blast, and they're on Facebook, and they're on Twitter, and then it's like the rest of the circle of friends are like, well, I want in on that too. And it just grows in a life of its own. I mean, you should see the amount of different groups that we have at these races taking their picture. I mean, people coming down, 20, 30 people in a group, all running at the same time, and then having their own internal battle and making fun of each other, doing whatever they want to do during the race, but then also afterwards with the way social media is today. It sounds like you fell prey to that somewhat.
Yes, and that's what I loved about the Badass Dash when I was reading about it, is it's a team atmosphere. You don't go, you can absolutely go by yourself, but it's so cool that you can get all your friends and family together and use each other to overcome all of these obstacles, whether it's picking out what we're going to wear. I'm excited about what are we going to wear? We got to match, or you don't have to wear superhero things and stuff like that. I've seen so many pictures of everybody just having fun with everything Badass Dash. So that's why I'm excited. I love the team atmosphere.
And even going over some of the obstacles, as I said earlier, there's some that are easy, some that are kind of mid-level, and then some that are really hard. And a lot of the harder obstacles, we encourage volunteers and the staff that work physically at the obstacle, we encourage the other racers to help racers. So when it's somebody that you don't know, you're still going to take the help. But when it's your friend and they're pushing you over that wall, they're giving you that extra boost, or they're helping you, get your footing the right way, it's just that much more of an experience because you're doing something super cool with your closest friends, all for a good cause.
And it's so much fun. You're never going to forget it, right?
Never, ever.
The Badass Dash, Saturday, May 28th. New location this year at Sam Boyd Stadium. If you want the information, badassdash.com. What else do you want to tell people about getting involved?
People might hear this interview and think like, oh, she's training at one of these places. I'm not ready for that. You don't have to train. You're training because you have this inner drive that you actually want to beat all your friends. Mm-hmm. For years now, You're coming in as a new person, but you actually want to conquer them and say, look at me. But we've had people literally just, hey, dude, we're running this thing tomorrow. You in? And they just get off the couch and say, I'm in.
That is a very good point. I think that's another reason that I was so excited to get into this, because there are people that race every race that they can possibly get their hands on. And I've never done one, so I'm a rookie, but that's still okay. I'm still going to be able to go there and beat myself. You don't have to be any professional racer. You can be a rookie and still go and finish the race and just be proud of yourself.
Fun day, Badass Dash. And it's going to benefit the Red Cross with their Fire Hurts, Red Cross Helps campaign. Win-win all the way around.
I agree.
You're going to come back with that medal that you're going to get when you cross that line.
Yes.
Can't wait. The obstacles that you're talking about that are part of the Badass Dash, this is the sort of stuff I would see guys or women who are in training for like the military or something. That's what it brings up in my mind.
Well, that's what actually a lot of people think. But truth be told, we have a wide mixture. So unlike some of the other events that call themselves obstacle races, there'll be a 5K or even a 10K, and they'll only have maybe 10 or 12 obstacles mixed in. So it's a lot of running, and you get to some really massive, huge obstacles. We actually are the opposite. We have over 40 obstacles in a 7K. So you're just running in between obstacles. So it's a lot less running and a lot more obstacles. But the mixture for us is nice because we do have some military-style obstacles that need a lot of upper body strength. We also have some obstacles that need just lower body strength. We have some mixture of simple obstacles, medium obstacles, and then really hard obstacles. And they're all intertwined with each other throughout the course. So it's not as if they crescendo. You don't just do all the easy ones first and then you get up a little higher. You can go from a really hard one right out of the gate down to an easy one, back up to a middle-sized one, back up to a hard one, back down to an easy one. It's designed to basically give you a workout, but not something that anybody couldn't do. And you don't necessarily have to train for it. People that do train for these races seem to do better, and they're really amped up to get a certain time on their score. But you can come down and compete, and lots of people come down and they're like, oh, I'm not sure if I could do it or not. It's designed that anybody could do it, whether you're trained or not trained. It's just a matter of how much you want to push yourself.
Brian Sharenow is with us today on Talking Solutions, and we're discussing the Badass Dash coming up that final Saturday of May. So it's Memorial Day weekend, May 28th. It's going to be at Sam Boyd Stadium. What a great venue. You've got room for all kinds of stuff there. Brian, you say it's for everybody. I might just be an observer in this. I would imagine you're set up for that too, for people who just want to come out and see the fun.
Absolutely. We actually encourage people, if you don't want to compete, one, we love people to volunteer and help out, and we actually put people all throughout the event. So you could be on the race course cheering on some of your friends and family and helping out at the obstacles or at registration or packet pickup, the finish line, giving out drinks, seeing all the people come in and how exhausted and tired they are, but pumped up they are that they just finished. So anybody who can't compete or chooses not to, we love for them to come down and volunteer. But if you didn't want to volunteer, also just come down to cheer your family and friends on. It's for a charity. Some of our proceeds go towards the American Red Cross. So it's important for us to make sure that that publicity and that notoriety gets out there, and we raise funds and awareness for them as well. So the more people that come down, whether they're participating or spectators, the better the overall event is.
Just becomes a big community event.
Absolutely. And that's what we're looking for.
The charity that you're working with this year, I'm well familiar. It's the Red Cross, and it's their Fire Hurts, Red Cross Helps campaign. Jennifer Rainey is in with us from the American Red Cross. Jennifer will fill us in on exactly what they're looking for.
Oh, absolutely. When most people think of the American Red Cross, they think of big disasters. See seeing us on CNN helping a community who has just been ravaged by a tornado or a hurricane or flooding. But really what we respond to mostly on a day-to-day basis is home fires. We're the agency that if you lose your home to a fire, we're going to be there to help you. And here in Southern Nevada, that happens at least once a day on average.
You never say no when somebody needs help.
We're always there. And it doesn't matter how much money they make or what their status is in the community. We don't care. Fire doesn't care. Fire will take it regardless. So we're there to help the family. And sometimes the family needs financial assistance just to help bridge the gap before maybe their insurance kicks in. In most cases, there is no insurance. And other times they just need some guidance. What do I do from here? I have the resources. I have family that I can stay with. It all depends. So we have volunteers that are on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, including holidays, you name it. And these folks are incredibly dedicated. They get up in the middle of the night when they get the call from the fire dispatch office, and they go and meet the family right curbside, usually while the fire department is still there putting out the fire. And we work with the families and say, okay, what resources do you have? What can we provide? And we make sure that they have a safe place to stay, that they've got some clothing, that they have food. And then our caseworkers in the office follow up with the families the next few days and make sure that they have a recovery plan. So our program, our Fire Hurts Red Cross Helps campaign, is about raising awareness, but also about raising money to aid those who have lost their homes to a fire here in Southern Nevada.
In so many cases with a fire, everything's gone.
Everything. Shoes, clothing, ID, pictures, family photos, everything that you can possibly imagine. And we go out and install working smoke detectors into people's homes because we want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to get out alive if a fire were to occur in their home. The reality is you have 2 minutes to get out of your home if there's a fire. That's not a lot of time. What would you grab in 2 minutes? Keys, your ID, your loved one. What if you have a disabled loved one? How do you get them out of the home in 2 minutes? Your dogs. Every second that we can give a family by a working smoke detector to alert them to the fire is another second that they have an opportunity to get out safe.
Talking about the Fire Hurts Red Cross Helps campaign, this is something that goes on all year, just like the need for fires. You were just saying that it's happening as far as someone getting burned out of their home about once a day.
Yes.
That adds up pretty quick.
It does. It adds up to around 1,500 people a year in our community who need our help. We estimate we spend approximately $350,000 providing financial assistance to folks in the community. We're kind of the safety net for the community, so we want to make sure that people know that we're there to help.
Being your charity partner for the Badass Dash on May 28th at Sam Boyd Stadium, it's going to help them with achieving that goal that's important to all of us here in Southern Nevada.
Absolutely. And we like the synergy because, as you just described, the Red Cross is there to help those people through the tough times. And in our world, the synergy is the Red Cross is going to have volunteers out on the course helping people and getting through obstacles that they're only facing on that one day and that one particular time. And that'll transcend into the fact that we're going to hopefully raise enough money that these people can get through their obstacles that are much larger in scale in real life, quicker and easier, hopefully, with the support that we're doing and the money that we raise.
I like the way you're thinking. Brian Sharenow, the race director for Badass Dash. Now, you don't live here in Las Vegas. Do you actually do this event in different cities around the country?
Yes. I actually live in Chicago, but fly around all over the world doing events like this. I'm an event producer, but doing obstacle races is some of my favorite events because it combines so many different types of people, and it's always enjoyable. I love being at the start line, hearing people asking questions to their friends about like, oh, what obstacle you think this is, or I heard about this, or I don't know if I could do this. So I always tell them, you know what? I'm fairly vertically challenged, right? For a guy, I'm only 5'7". I say, if I could do every obstacle that's out there, so can you. And I kind of give people a confidence boost to try and make sure that they know that they're about to have an incredible experience and one that they'll think about for the rest of their life.
They're going to take selfies all over the place and they're going to put it on social media and say, oh, wow, this was just amazing. It's one of those really memorable events.
For sure. The pictures and the costumes people wear and the different outfits that they come out in and all those fun, crazy things that just make it a really memorable experience, and that's what we're looking for.
You know what the terrible thing would be is if somebody saw this on their social media and somebody they knew or the friend of a friend had posted something and they went, I wish I'd been there. We don't want them wishing they had been there. We still have time to get everybody involved. And if you think you got to train to do this, fine. You got time to do it. The Badass Dash doesn't happen until the final Saturday of May. So it's still weeks away. How do they get involved?
All they have to do is go on badassdash.com, register right online right there for this race or any of the races that we're producing this year. And it's a great point. We've actually had some people place in the top 3 that didn't train at all. Literally, their buddies said, hey, we're going to do this super cool race. It's for a good charity. Let's go out and do it and have a good time. And they're like, all right, I'm in.
Those are those people at the start line saying, I got your number. I'm totally going to whip you in this.
Yep. They make their own challenges with each other. It's always great to see. We have coworkers that come out and they have kind of an office challenge that they'll go in. We have teams that come out, so it's whoever has the best time on the team. So it's great to see the individual challenges that people make. We always challenge them as well. The nice thing is nobody has to finish any of the obstacles. They're uncomfortable. There might be one with water and somebody's like, oh, I can't swim. You're not made to finish any of them, but we just have people out on the course, especially our volunteers, and in this case, it'll be the Red Cross out there, encouraging them. This is the time. We have people, we have safety devices in place. We're all about safety, but this is the time. If you have a fear about something, let's tackle it. You're worried about heights? Let's climb up that 15-foot ladder wall and look down and say, you know what? I'm good now. I feel better about myself, and get that inside of you and say, you know what? This was a great day.
Now's the time. Today's the day. Badass Dash. How long has it been around, and who came up with the idea?
This is our 5th year. Obstacle races themselves have been around for a long time. The funny thing is most people hear the name and they say, oh, Badass Dash, right? I want to be badass. The reason the name came up is because I've participated in a number of other obstacle races. And when you go through some of the really cool obstacles, it's kind of a slang term that gets used in the industry, but you're basically out of breath or you're exhausted and you'd be like, that obstacle was badass. So many people were saying it. So the CEO and I have worked together for a number of years, and he had said, you know what, we should do a series and just call it the Badass Dash. So it's not necessarily about being a badass, but it's about going through something that is badass and how cool it is.
We all want to be described as, you are so badass.
Exactly.
The Badass Dash is happening at Sam Boyd Stadium. This is a great new venue. What all is going to be going on? You've mentioned, Brian, that there are going to be all of these obstacles in this 7K, no matter what the level. If you're an elite athlete or somebody who just is kind of into it.
Or a couch potato. The adults are just put into 2 categories. It's the elite class, which races from 8 to 9 in the morning, and then our recreation class, which is pretty much anyone who wants to run, walk, or even crawl to the finish line. They race from 9 a.m. until 1.
You give them a longer time.
A lot longer time, because there's a lot more of them, for sure.
Plus, for the kids, you've got age brackets.
At 1 o'clock, we kick off 2 different classes for our kids. The 6 to 8-year-olds that'll go and they race anywhere from between a 2 and a 300-yard dash with obstacles built for their size. And then we have the 8 to 13-year-olds that can race a little smidge more than a mile course. And they actually encompass some of the adult obstacles as well as kids obstacles. So the kids wrap up from 1 to 2. And then at 2 o'clock, you can come back either if you've already raced or if you haven't raced yet, but if you bring your dog down, you can compete with your dog. And we have obstacles that are built specifically that man or woman or child can compete with your dog. And it's not you running through obstacles and your dog's next to you. It's you and your dog actually doing the obstacles.
Really?
So they're specific to be able to be done by dogs.
Wow. I've seen the dogs doing the obstacle courses, but I don't know if I've seen it where the person is actually doing it with the dog.
It was a big focal point of ours 2 years ago when we started doing it. The CEO of the company actually works with other dog aquatic programs, so we had to tie in that way. But we just noticed how many people run with their dogs and how many people would love to be able to do some of the obstacles with their dogs. And we've had some that, you might be walking on a balance beam with your dog next to you or behind you. We've had some where you got the owner or the handler, they call it, threw the dog in his hands and ran like through a swamp with him, or, just depending on what it is. A lot of times the dog is fighting too because they want to do the obstacles. There's certain things that are on the course. A dog, we don't expect him to climb a 20-foot ladder wall, but going under nets and going through some of the water obstacles and high beams and different things that they can all do, crawling through tubes. It's fun to watch because everyone gets to go run with their dogs, but this is an experience they don't get to do very often.
The Badass Dash is a must-see event. I want to see that stuff going on.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of people that when they see it, they realize, oh, you know what? I could do that. Or I thought it was different than it is. Or sometimes you hear the word obstacle race, you look on the internet and you see people jumping through fire or some of these things.
You don't have that, right?
No, we don't have that. Obviously, we have a very challenging and exciting race, but it's also geared towards safety. Nothing that's going to get anybody hurt. But when people do come down and they see it, they actually marvel, I guess would be the word, at how some of the things are set up and the different things that can be done, and the fact that it's basically designed for the whole family to partake in, because there are a lot of events that dad might go do this, or mom's running a 5K while dad's home with the kids. And this is something literally everybody in the family can come down, like I said, even the dog.
What a great family day. And bring the pet. Now, maybe, and you'd certainly know this more than I, Brian Sharenow is with us, the race director for the Badass Dash, coming to Sam Boyd Stadium that final Saturday in May, Memorial Day weekend. It is Saturday, May 28th. I would imagine that the name Badass Dash in itself just scares some people. They're like, oh, I could not do that.
Yeah, there's a good amount of people. That's the thing. It's always a struggle for us to get the message out. As I said earlier, the name itself doesn't mean that you have to be a badass. There's this connotation that you got to have a mohawk and you're breaking breaking bottles and, yeah, exactly. It's more so that the obstacles themselves and the course that we design is pretty badass and it's something super cool. I watch The Voice all the time, and hearing Blake Shelton, he uses the word all the time.
He
so
does,
that's badass.
yes,
This is badass. And it's how cool it is, and that's the whole premise of our event. It's an experience, I think, that's unparalleled in the industry.
And when you talk about getting the word out, of course, that's why you're here with us today on Talking Solutions, because we've got enough time to where we can really get into the meat of it, the nitty-gritty, what it's really all about, and that it's not something to be fearful of. It's an event that's exciting that you're going to be really glad that you participated in.
Absolutely. And everybody that crosses the finish line gets a finisher medal. So to be able to have that medal, whether you're an avid sports person and it's just one of 50 that you have, or someone that's never competed something like that before, but I can tell you from personally running in these events and being a part of them separate from this series, it's a great feeling when you go through it, you accomplish it. It's the old Vince Lombardi quote, you lie on the field exhausted and victorious. To be able to be there with your friends and family and feel good about that, or even your canine, and go home and enjoy that experience. It's something that I cherish every time I am at the finish line. If I'm not on the course helping or doing something, when I get to see people come through and just the feeling of elation that they have for their accomplishments and what they've went through, and also just conquering some of their fears. I've had a lot of people that couldn't swim but went through a water obstacle, or afraid of heights and climbed up a wall, and afterwards how good they feel about themselves. I feel good as a producer knowing that I was a part of that for them,
helping make it happen. As far as the things that will be going on at Sam Boyd Stadium for the Badass Dash, we talked about the events. Are there other things happening in the periphery? Have you got entertainment lined up or food and drink?
Yeah, so we have a post-race festival after each event, and it starts kind of before the event because it's in the festival setting where you actually hit the start line. But our post-race festival has live entertainment. It's got food and beverages. It's got vendors that'll be there. We have prize giveaways. We have activities on the stage. We do an award ceremony. It's a good, fun atmosphere, not just being on the course itself, but being able to come back and be a part of that and stick around throughout the day. Check out all the different things that we have. It's a wide mix of variety that goes on.
You are all about safety. And jokingly, we referred to not going to jump through fire.
The nice thing is one of our obstacles is actually, it's called a human car wash. A lot of these races, after you go through all this stuff, you get to go over to some showers where we actually took a shower and made it into an obstacle. You got to weave through webbing and you're getting blasted with water, and it basically washes you off. So for us, we'll go the other route. Since Red Cross is trying to put out those fires, we're going to stay with that theme and put everybody out and make sure you're cleaned up before you get in the car and go home.
Good thinking. The Badass Dash can be for individuals. You could bring out the whole family. You talked about office or company teams.
Yep, you can come down as a team and set up as a team. You don't race as a team as far as a team competition, but obviously everybody gets chip timed, so it's a timed event. And as a team, you can get team scores and team timing that you can then go through and check and see, you know what, who's top of the class.
Are there any prizes if you were like the number one finisher, if you were the top dog? Do I get anything along with the medal and that incredible sense of self-satisfaction?
Yeah, we do have prizing for the top 3 in elite, top 3 in recreation, top 3 in kids, and top 3 in the canine companion race.
Fun.
Yeah.
And if people wanted to find out about it, even if they're not quite ready to sign up, but I would think that probably as far as sign-up costs, the earlier the better.
Correct. As you get closer to race day, the costs increase. We do run based on some holidays and different things going on, some different specials from time to time. But anybody who's interested, if they jump online now and register, they're going to be better off than if they do it at the last minute.
Don't wait till the last minute. Besides, the longer you wait to get involved, the more likely you'll go, I'm busy. I can't do that this year. I'll just have to work for next year.
The nice part, too, is I know some people are always like, well, it's a Saturday. I got stuff I got to do. We start racing as early as 8 a.m. And you could sign up for the block of time that you want to race at. So if you got stuff in the morning, you can come down and race at noon. You can come down and in the morning. You could even get in the afternoon. Unless you got plans the entire day, which I would put off to a different day. But you definitely can carve out a time that you can come down and race and get through.
That sounds like excuses if you don't have any time and you're able to be flexible with
Exactly.
it. Make it work. It sounds like a great time. It's the Badass Dash coming to Sam Boyd Stadium. Great new venue this year. That's going to be great placement for it.
Yeah, it's a larger course, laid out differently. So even the people that have been super excited, the last 3 years they competed with us at the South Point, it's a totally fresh, different look now. So it's going to be that much more better. And we always challenge people, you loved it so much, you bring down another 1 or 2 people. The more people that come, the more money we raise for Red Cross. And that's our overall goal.
That's the way to do it. Red Cross is the benefactor as far as the charity involved with this year's Badass Dash. I know you did it for autism last year, and this year the charity that will benefit is the Fire Hurts Red Cross Helps campaign. We love those guys, and they help all Southern Nevadans who are facing the loss of their home through a fire for whatever reason. They're just great. So they'll be bringing down volunteers to help with the effort on that day.
Absolutely. A ton of them, too. It takes a lot of people to make sure that you can run a race that has over 40 obstacles and, thousands of people competing to make sure that they're all taken care of and it's done safely. So we definitely appreciate their efforts, and we're hoping to raise as much money as we can for them.
It's going to be a great day. It's the Badass Dash. BadassDash.com will get you all of the information. Not too expensive to get involved, I'm sure.
No. Like I said, there's different promotions and things we do, but for the experience that you're going to get, the money's well worth it. And like I said, being that it's going to a good cause, it makes it even that much more beneficial.
And you can do it with your dog. Come on. The kids can get involved. It's a family thing. We got room for everybody. BadassDash.com for information. What have I forgotten?
I think that pretty much covered it all.
Good to know. Badass Dash. It's going to be a lot of fun. Aimee Montgomery from our Star 1079 morning show. She has been training for a while and has a whole series of videos of her accomplishing the obstacles she will face during the actual Badass Dash on May 28th. Her videos are so cute.
Rings like at a playground. Oh, I can do this. I get on and I'm swinging back and forth and she's like, good job, good job. I go to the next one and completely laid on the ground.
She disappears out of the picture.
It's hysterical. The other one was the Mount Everest. So you run up the thing or whatever they call it. And so on the video that our videographer did, it said, Aimee with Star 1079 shows you how to run up a wall. And then I go up to the top and I'm hanging there. And I fall down. He's like, or not.
I think you will really like seeing them.
Yeah.
They're so cute. The one with the rings, hands down.
That is hands down.
She's picking up tires. She's climbing walls. She's
doing it all.
Trying to scale
do it all.
Mount Everest. I love her can-do spirit. I guess that's the kind of mindset I want to see, is people who have never done it before but go, I can totally do this.
Some people have the inner drive. They just want to do it. Some people need a little coaxing, a little pat on the back, a little encouragement, and then there's a whole host of people in between those two. I always tell people that already have the inner drive to go get some people to do it with them. I can't tell you how many people afterwards are going, I'm so glad I did this. I didn't think I could do it. I never would have done it unless my best friend made me do it, or all those different things. But then they're lifers and they're into it and they want to come back year after year. I've had some people that a couple years ago never did one, and now they're traveling to different ones, planning it as part of their vacation. Oh, there's a race in New York and we're going to New York this summer. We're going to plan it around that. So the experience of doing it, how well people have attached to it, it's been great over the years, and the growth of the sport, it's been really nice to see. And for us being producers of it and being one of the few out there that are really proponents of making a true obstacle course, not a lot of running with a few obstacles mixed in, but a lot of obstacles with a little bit of running mixed in. It's been nice, and we've been complimented by a lot of people that say, I hate to run, but I love the obstacles, and this actually is the best of all of it, because I do little running, but I do a lot of obstacles.
Well, there can't be anybody else out there who has got the number of obstacles and the variety of things that are part of the Badass Dash. You guys have got to kind of be on a level of your own.
Yeah, we think so.
I know that you have a lot of repeat participants, and that's just going to continue to expand.
For sure.
Because when people get involved, they go, I got to do this again. This was great.
It's like anything. Once you've been somewhere, picture going to a restaurant, every Saturday for 5 weeks. That 6th or 7th week, you're like, you know what, let's go somewhere new. So I think a lot of our participants that have been at the South Point for the last 3 years in a row, even though every year we change the course and we change the obstacles, the fact that it's a new venue, it's a little bit fresher this year, they're going to have a renewed sense of like, hey, let's see what kind of course they could build over there. You got so much more room now, so what can we do out in the wide open? A lot of our course for the South Point was unique because it was indoors, and this is all outdoors now.
And another thing that's great, the people who have a great time participating in a Badass Dash, you know that they're going to tell everybody they know, this is so great, you got to do it this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And we encourage that too. Live event announcer, he'll be telling them when they cross the finish line, post your pictures, tweet, hit the Instagram, hit every avenue you can, tell everyone what they're missing, make sure you bring people back next year. So it's always an encouragement for us, one, not only to have more people, any event's better with more people, but being that the whole goal of this is to raise funds promotions and awareness for the charity partner, the more people we get, the better it is. So it's always a constant push to do that.
Win-win. Badass Dash, Saturday, May 28th at Sam Boyd Stadium. All of us here at Beasley Media Group so proud to be partnering with you on this event.
Absolutely. And we're happy to have you guys singing our praises and getting the word out.
That's what we're here for. Brian Sharenow, the race director for the Badass Dash. You want the information, get signed up. It really sounds like a tremendous amount of fun. Badassdash.com. Thanks for joining us, Brian.
Thank you.
Talking Solutions is a production of the Community Relations Department here at Beasley Media Group Las Vegas. Get more information on today's topic on our Talking Solutions page on Facebook, where you will also find links and a podcast of today's show. Thanks for listening, and have a great week.